I have a feeling that inside you somewhere there is something nobody knows about it. Hello and welcome to another new episode of Happy Reading. I'm your host Sandhya Shalish. Today's novel, The Women in the Window, written by A.G. Finn, an American author, is a thriller novel published in 2018. Anna Fox is a psychologist but suffers from agoraphobia, where a person is extremely or irrationally feared of entering open or crowded places and is afraid of leaving one's own house. She is separated from her husband Ed, and her daughter Olivia lives with her father. Anna lives alone in her big house with a cat and a tenant, David, in the basement. Anna has never stepped outside her house in 10 months. She is occasionally visited by her physiotherapist Bina and her psychiatrist Dr. Fielding. Her routine includes giving online consultations to her own patients in the website named Agora, teaching French online, and rest of her time watching the neighbors through her Nikon camera. One fine day, she, while observing the neighbors, notes that the apartment 207 across the park side has been taken by a new family which includes Mr. Alistair Russell, his wife Mrs. Jane Russell, and their son Ethan Russell. Anna watches Mr. Alistair Russell speaking to his wife and son and thinks of them as good, nice family as was once her. One day, Ethan Russell, son of Alistair and Jane, comes to her with a gift which his mother told him to give to Anna. He introduces himself and his family across the park. After Ethan, his mother Jane Russell visits Anna and becomes friends with her. She spends a night with Anna drinking and telling stories about her family. Soon after Jane leaves her house, Alistair Russell visits Anna asking about his wife. He seems not very pleasant, and Anna lies to him that she haven't met his wife. Russell's house becomes Anna's major observatory, and with her Nikon lens, she watches their daily activities. One day she hears a scream from Russell's house, and when she watches through her camera, sees Jane is stabbed on her chest and is bathed in blood. She calls the police, but by the time police reaches, she herself decides to step out to Russell's house to save her friend Jane. When she goes out and nears the Russell's house, she gets a shock and is admitted in hospital. When Anna opens her eyes, she finds herself surrounded by a nurse and two detectives, Detective Little and Detective Norelli. She is taken to her home with Detective Little. Detective Norelli comes to her house with Mr. Alistair, who says his wife, Mrs. Jane Russell, is very much fit and fine. When Jane Russell enters the scene, it appears that she is not the person whom Anna Fox had seen. Jane tells her that she can show her driving license in order to prove that she herself is Jane Russell. Everyone leaves, fixing the matter as a delusion caused to Anna because of a high dose of medicines and enormous intake of alcohol. One morning, Anna checks her email and a message pops with Jane Russell's name. When she clicks the email, her own image appears which somebody had taken when she was asleep. In her drawer, she finds her sketch drawn and undersigned by Jane Russell. Again she calls Detective Little and Detective Norelli, saying someone had intruded her house last night. Finally, it is revealed by Detective Norelli that Anna's husband and daughter died 10 months ago in a car accident, and its after cause had made Anna a serious agoraphobic, as told by Dr. Fielding. She has been doing all this out of a phobia and intake of medicines. Anna is compelled to believe the same. She works on herself, accepting the fact that her family is dead. She starts controlling her drinking and takes medicines properly. One day, she checks the photograph she had taken from her camera and surprisingly finds the real Jane's image, whom she had met as a reflection in one of the photographs. She immediately calls Ethan to know about the truth. The whole story gets twisted when Ethan meets Anna. This novel keeps you gripped until end and is a complete thriller. To know the truth about Jane and what happened to Anna, you need to read the book itself. This novel will definitely prove to be one of the best suspense thriller you have ever read. Hope you enjoyed listening. I'll be back with a new episode. Till then, happy reading, stay blessed.